The first shipment of COVID-19 vaccines from Pfizer-BioNTech has arrived in Singapore. More are on the way, including other shortlisted vaccine candidates from Moderna and Sinovac. Over $1 billion went into the procurement process of these vaccines over the past few months.
So I chair that group. It comprises scientists, clinicians, public health experts, regulators, and even people from industry who understand not only how drugs and vaccines are made, but how they're actually manufactured, to actually provide advice in terms of trying to understand how that science translates into buying a vaccine. We met 35 companies, probably more than 100 meetings over the past 8 months, and slowly we sort of streamlined down to a few that were shortlisted.
A lot of different vaccine technology types that were being tried. Some were more traditional, where you grow up the virus and then after that you inactivate the virus, and that in itself is the vaccine. And then lastly, mRNA, which was the fastest to the gate. So among these technology types, we took a balance between what were established vaccine technology routes and what is the fastest to the market.
Sometimes we had to work through the weekends and the nights to negotiate on the specific terms and close off the key clauses in order to make sure that we close the deal in time. Of course, HSA also had to deal with a whole lot of clinical data that they had to assess to make sure the vaccines were safe and efficacious.
Some of these companies actually talked to HSA fairly early, months ahead of the actual approval. And as each data package came along, they evaluated that.
But now we have to discuss things like, for example, for particular candidate, should we have advanced purchase agreement? Should we see whether we should bring in the manufacturing angle into play? Should we see if we can get involved in the clinical trial? And all these are possible strategies. As with all research that is involving clinical trials and other aspects, because the study is carried out over a finite period, so if something kicks in later, for example, in terms of tracking the side effects, tracking any problems that come out, that has to be very quick and responsive. So as part of the discussions with the companies, we want to make sure that once the company is aware that there are these problems, they will alert the different agencies so everyone is aware. And likewise, we will do the same. So I think HSA is really on top of this one in terms of making sure that the safety part is concerned.
What we've done was actually work with SQ as a backup plan in case there weren't enough cargo flights or flights coming to this part of the world. So SQ was quite quick to be able to work with the pharma companies to put in place such contingency plans. So I think it's not just one agency or one ministry's expertise and effort here. So, for example, MOH came in with the entire national vaccination program, which gives us a sense of how much to procure. HSA, obviously, with the regulatory leadership and ability to assess the vaccines. EDB, with our relationship with the pharma biotech companies, which enabled us to reach out early to the companies to engage them. So that whole of government effort, I think, is key in securing this deal.